Hello students, in class 11 maths, chapter number 10 quadratic equations we had started, and two portions I have already covered, out of which in the second portion I skipped one topic, that is quadratic fraction. So this topic I will include with this video. So the following topics we are going to cover today. So let's get started with the third part. Okay, the first topic for today is quadratic functions and graph. An algebraic expression of this form is known as quadratic function of x. Now, if I change the variable to be y, then this is a quadratic function of variable y. So this expression is known as quadratic function, and whenever we equate it to 0, it becomes quadratic equation. So right now we are going to study quadratic functions. Now in the standard form, which is ax square plus bx plus c, we will check the coefficient of x square. Graph of a quadratic function is always going to be a parabola. Now we need to see the parabola is concave upwards this way, or is it concave downwards? This a value will tell us whether the graph is concave upwards or downwards. Whenever we have the coefficient of x square to be greater than 0, in that case the parabola is concave upwards, and whenever a is less than 0, the parabola is concave downwards. So that means in this case we have a greater than 0 because this is concave upwards, and in this case we have a less than 0. Now we have certain cases. In some cases of a greater than 0, suppose since a is greater than 0, so obviously it will be upwards. Now the case is whether it is touching the x-axis 2 times, that means in that case 2 distinct roots. When it is touching only once in the form of a tangent, or whenever it is not touching at all. Right, now understand this thing. Whenever we have 2 distinct root, in that case it is cutting x-axis, real axis 2 times. That means discriminant should be greater than 0, because whenever discriminant is greater than 0, the nature of the roots are real and 2 unequal distinct roots. When real and equal roots, that means discriminant is 0 in this case, and whenever there is no value from the real line, in this case discriminant will be less than 0. Imaginary roots are there. That is why it is not touching the real axis. Now same way, in the second case, when a is less than 0, the graph will be concave downwards. So either it will touch the x-axis 2 times, once as a tangent, and it will not touch at all. It can be on the negative side also. So again, since I am getting 2 roots, it is touching the real x-axis 2 times, so that means discriminant is greater than 0. Only once, that means both the roots are real and equal, so discriminant is 0 in this case, and since it is not touching the real line, so d is less than 0. So I hope these points are clear to you. So by looking at the graph, we can tell whether, if it is concave upwards, we can directly say a is greater. If it is concave downwards, a is less than 0. Right. Second thing, if it is touching the real axis 2 times, 2 points, then that means these two are the roots of that particular quadratic equation and discriminant is greater than 0. Second, if it is touching only once, then this particular value is the root of the given quadratic equation and discriminant is equal to 0. And when it is not touching at all, that means in this case roots are imaginary. So for imaginary cases we have discriminants less than 0. Let us take one question of the exercise 10e. Draw the graph of given quadratic function. The function is y equals to x square minus 5x plus 6 and the range of values of x is given between 0 to 5. Now we can call it a function of variable x in place of y. Now for the values of x 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can put only the values if they have mentioned the range. If they have not mentioned, you can take any values, your choice. In that case, y, when x is 0, y will be 0 square minus 5 into 0 plus 6. This is how we calculate. So in this case 0 plus 6 will be 6. When x is 1, substitute 1 everywhere. 1 square minus 5 into 1 plus 6. So 1 minus 5 plus 6 minus 4 plus 6, 2. And in the same way we will substitute 2 and let's see what y will come. So we will fill the table and these are the values. So the first step was to create a table of x and the function of x, which is y in this case. Now we will plot the following points. On x-axis we will plot this and on y-axis we will plot this, the function. Points we will plot on x-axis, x points, and y-axis points are the function's value. And before we actually plot, let us notice certain points. In this, coefficient of x square is 1, which is greater than 0. So the graph will be concave upwards. And roughly if I find discriminant, which is b square 5 minus 5 square minus 4 into a into c. So 25 minus 24 is 1. So that means this is greater than 0. So real and unequal roots. So in this case the graph will look like this. It will cut at axis 2 times. And in the cases the both points will be the answers of the given quadratic equation, the roots. So this is the graph and it is cutting the x-axis here and here, where this point is x equal to 2 and this point is x equal to 3. So you can even solve it by factorization, by splitting middle term. Your roots of this given quadratic equation will come 2 and 3 only. So this is the graphical way of finding roots of the given quadratic equation. Next small concept is sign of quadratic function ax square plus bx plus c. Now sign of expression is always the same as that of a. That means the sign of whole expression depends on the sign of this particular coefficient of x square. If a is negative, the whole expression will be negative. If a is positive, the expression will be positive. Only in one case it is different, and the case is except when discriminant is greater than 0 and the value of x, the roots, the value of x will lie between the roots. Only in this case, if a is greater, expression will be less than 0, and if a is less, expression will be greater than 0 only in this case. In all other cases, whether discriminant is less than 0 or equal to 0, in all the cases the sign of the expression will be same as the sign of a. Need not go in further detail. So ultimately we need to check the quadratic equation is going to be positive when imaginary roots are there, that is we will check the imaginary roots by d less than 0, and this should be positive, that means the whole expression is positive. If this is negative with imaginary roots, the whole expression will be negative. So we have to just check the sign of a, which is coefficient of x square in the whole quadratic equation. 10f question number 1, show that the given expression is positive for all values of x. The given expression is going to be positive when the roots are imaginary and a greater than 0. So first of all, a here is 1, which is greater than 0. So first condition fulfilled. Second condition, d should be negative. Let's check. B square minus 4ac. So 9 minus 24 is going to be negative. Need not even solve, it is going to be negative. So since both the conditions are fulfilling, therefore we can say the given quadratic function is greater than 0 for all x. Next question 5, find the range of values of x for which the expression is negative. So first of all, a is greater than 0. We need to prove it negative. Let us find discriminant. B square minus 4ac, which is 49, and 480 minus minus plus, so 529, which is greater than 0. So this is the case when we have not imaginary roots, real and unequal. In this case, x is negative only between the roots. If you remember, if x is lying between the two roots, only then expression is negative. So we need to find the roots of the quadratic expression. So we have to equate it equals to 0. In this case, the factorization, and after solving we will get minus 2, 4x plus 5, 3x minus 2 and 4x plus 5 equals to 0. So in this case we have x equals to minus 2 by 3 plus 2 by 3 and minus 5 by 4. That means if x is lying between the roots, the value is going to be negative. For all other values it will be positive. So the range is x greater than minus 5 by 4 and less than 2 by 3. This is the range of values of x for which the given expression will be negative. For all other values this expression will be positive. So whenever the expression d is imaginary, roots are imaginary, that is the most simplest case. In that case, just this will tell you the value of the expression. In case of real and unequal roots, we need to actually find the roots and see the range. The next topic, quadratic fraction. That means in the fractional form, numerator we have a quadratic equation, in the denominator also we have a quadratic equation. So we will let it equal to some variable y. Let us see directly with the help of an example. If x be real, find the maximum value of this quadratic fraction. So let it be equal to y. Cross multiply 2x square plus 3x plus 6. Open the brackets. 2x square y plus 3xy plus 6y. Shift everything on one side. So I am shifting these two here. Plus 3xy plus 6y minus x minus 3. Now convert this into the standard form. So that means coefficient of x square plus coefficient of x and constant term. So let us pick up the coefficient of x square, which is only 2y. Coefficient of x, these two terms are there, 3x minus, not x, 3y, because x we have already taken common, so 3y and minus 1. And the constant terms, that means without variable x, are these. Now find discriminant, and let's see, b square minus 4ac. A slight change here in the question, in place of 3 it is 2, so everywhere this is x plus 2, so the change will be only here. So for x to be real, the discriminant has to be greater than or equal to 0, because we do not know real or distinct or real or equal. So the reason is, for x to be real, the discriminant has to be either greater or equal to 0. So that is why we are substituting it equal or greater to 0. So 1 plus 13y, 13 if I take common, it will be 1 by 13 plus y, and 13 divided from 0 will be 0. Same with 3 taken common and divided by 0, so the expressions will be 0. Now I want something of this form: variable minus constant, variable minus or plus constant, greater than equal to 0 or less than equal to 0. So here variable is afterwards, I will change. So in addition there is no problem, but in subtraction, that means I am taking minus common to write this. So to remove this minus sign, that means minus divided here will change the sign of inequality. So now this is this. Y plus 13 and y minus 3. Now we need to plot. We will make a number line where we will plot 2 points, the two values. Out of this, smaller value is, see, actual values of y will be minus 1 by 13 and 1 by 3 when I solve this particular inequation. So minus 1 by 13 and 1 by 3. These are the class intervals. Now how to write the signs? This is help box, which is only for understanding, where we will write sign of both the brackets, these two brackets. First y plus 1 by 13 and then y minus 1 by 3. Then either y will be less than this value or y will lie between the values given, or y will be greater than 1 by 3. There is no other case possible. Okay, so now let's start checking. When y plus 13 here, if y is less than this value, in this case this particular sign will be negative. You put any value, the sign will be negative. Let us try if y value, this value is lying between them. This is going to be positive. If y is greater than this is also going to be positive. Now let's check the sign here. We do not have to write the values, only the sign. When y is less than this value, the sign here will minus. Suppose if I take minus 1 by 14, so it will be minus 1 by 14 minus 1 by 3, and negative 2 added will be negative. Next, if it is lying between them, since this is 1 by 3, so any other value in this interval will be less than 1 by 3, so this will be negative and this will be positive. If y is greater than this, that means greater minus smaller will be positive answer. Now multiple of these two brackets, y plus 1 by 13 and y minus 1 by 3. Minus minus product, the product here is negative and the product here is positive. So this is the help box. That means here, if y is less than minus 1 by 13, that means the case here is positive. The case between the two numbers will be negative, and if y is greater than 1 by 3, the case will be positive. Now coming back to the actual equation, this one, we wanted this to be less than equal to 0. So in this case, less than equal to 0 means negative value, so this is going to be the answer. Since it is less than equal to 0, so there will be closed brackets. We will apply closed bracket whenever it is less than equal to or greater than equal to. Suppose if I have this kind of interval, values are not included, in this case I will apply round brackets. If they are this way, then square brackets. Suppose if I have to include minus infinity sometimes, minus infinity is always open bracket. To a if a is included or if a is excluded. Then if both sides I have infinity, both sides open brackets. So whenever you see this equal to sign, then only you will put square brackets, otherwise always round brackets. We call them open and closed. So in this particular case, this is less than equal to 0, so we have put closed brackets. Let's try one more question of this type. One question from the exercise. For x be real, prove that the value of this quadratic fraction cannot lie between this. So forget about the proving part and the above information given. Only focus on this. Let it be equal to y and start solving. Y, x, 4x, 2, 11x square plus 12x plus 6. Now keep everything on one side. 11x square plus 12x plus 6. I am shifting all this here. So the sign will be negative. Minus 4xy minus 2y equals to 0. So converting into quadratic equation of standard form, here I will have 11 minus y, the two terms. This is x, and here I will have 12 minus 4y for this and this, and the constant terms 6 minus 2y. Now again, for x be real whenever discriminant is greater than equal to 0. So we will find discriminant b square minus 4ac, and it has to be greater than equal to 0. After solving the complete equation, solve it yourself, you will get y square plus 2y minus 15, and after factorizing y plus 5 and y minus 3 to be greater than equal to 0. Now again plotting, the two values here will be minus 5 and 3. If I put this greater than equal to 0 by 0 product rule and this also greater than equal to 0, y will be 3 and minus 5. So do not confuse the signs here. This is plus, this is minus, minus, plus. So the lesser value first and then the greater value, minus infinity, plus infinity, the number line. Now let's see where the function will be negative and where positive. Suppose for the values less than minus 5, this bracket will be negative, this will also be negative, and the product of two negatives will be positive. Then the values between them, that means greater than this value and lesser than this value, opposite sign, so this will remain negative because plus into minus will be minus. Here greater than 3, so 3, suppose if I take 4 plus 5 positive, 4 minus 3 positive, so plus plus will be plus, the product, right? You can also make help box table, there is no problem. You can write here sign for the two different. Here either y value will be less than minus 5, either it will lie between minus 5 to 3, or it will be greater than 3. So here both signs are negative, therefore the product came positive. So lying between them, this will be positive and this negative. So the product of two opposite signs will be negative, and here both positive, positive. So this, now let us read the question again. Prove that the value of this cannot lie between minus 5 and 3. How it is proved? Our ultimate form is this. That means for the expression to be greater than equal to 0, that means for the expression to be positive, we need only the positive cases. So that means if y value will lie between them, in this case it is coming negative, hence proved. So the range has to be this and this. If it is lying between them, then it is going to be negative. So I am ending up here. After watching this video, you are supposed to try exercise 10E and 10F. Keep practicing both the exercises.